Hi, I'm Madam Pamita, and I love teaching about magic. If you have a question about spells, the law of attraction, spirituality, witchcraft, Slavic folk magic, spirits, divination, you can join me on Sundays at the Live Magic Q&A where we record an episode of my podcast, Magic and the Law of Attraction, and then I answer your questions on anything mystical or magical live over Zoom. Just go to spellsquad.com to get the link to join me in the clubhouse. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and click the bell icon so you get a gentle, magical reminder and you'll be the first witch to see whenever anything new goes up. Here's a great tidbit from one of our past Q&As answering a really important spiritual question.
Joanna says, is there a benefit to paraffin wax candles versus beeswax? Two different options for you, right? Let's talk about that for a second. So I think of like beeswax as being like the ultimate. It's pricier than paraffin. Paraffin is a byproduct of the oil industry, right? So it comes from the oil industry, and it was actually something that they would give away. Paraffin was so plentiful when they started pulling up oil out of the ground and processing oil, petroleum, they would get with paraffin. Paraffin is actually, if you go back far enough, it's ancient wax that's coming from the plants from the dinosaur times. We want to look at it like that. So, I mean, ultimately, at some point, it is a natural thing, but it's so long that it's been a plant. It's been millions of years since it was a plant, right? So petroleum industry is, it ends up being a chemical. And so there is some cases, or there is a case of paraffin releasing benzene and toluene, which are chemicals that are not great. Now, if you're burning one candle, if you're burning, 3 or 4 candles and you're burning them indoors, you're fine. Nothing bad is going to happen from you burning a paraffin candle. I burn paraffin candles too. I make beeswax candles, but occasionally someone gives me a cute candle and I burn a paraffin candle, right? So paraffin candles in small doses, but if you're burning a lot of them, like dozens of them, you may start to feel the effects. I saw this when I was burning multiple banks of paraffin candles and I was coughing all the time. Then when I eliminated the paraffin candles, I wasn't coughing anymore. But that's because I was burning 20 big candles at a time, right? So if you're burning a lot of candles, you might want to have ventilation, right? For sure. Or you might want to make sure that you're just not breathing in those fumes for whatever reason. Okay, that's one thing. Paraffin candles, however, by being a byproduct of the petroleum industry, are totally inexpensive. So beeswax will cost you more. So you have to weigh, like, do I want the cleaner burning beeswax, but it's going to be more expensive? Do I want the, thing that might release some chemicals, but I'm only going to burn one of them, but it's cheaper? That's what you get to decide. In terms of magic, I think the only difference for me magically is that when you work with beeswax, you're working with the energy of the bees and you're working with the energy of the flowers that the bees have visited. And that's added also to your spell. And I like that. I also like the fact that there's some honey in it too. I mean, there's so many things I love about beeswax, but I wouldn't look at paraffin as like, no, never, or no, I would never burn a paraffin candle. I burn paraffin candles too, but I just am like I just do one at a time. I don't do 20 at a time anymore. So that's because I was having a physical reaction to those chemicals because I was burning them in a small room and I was burning so many of them. I was having an effect on me. But paraffin candles are lovely and they're reasonably priced. And so that can be a consideration when you're doing your magic. So there you go.